am Marcy Worsberg-Stagner from Church Health, and you're watching Live at 9.
August 14th. Welcome to Live at 9, where Memphis comes alive. Along with your top news, weather with Todd Demers, and trending topics and coffee with Corey, here's a look at our guest lineup. We begin with a powerful discussion on healing and justice with Tennesseans for alternatives to the death penalty. And get ready to tune in as we explore the booming podcast scene with 4U recording studio chief engineer Tyler Battles. Plus, Streetdog Foundation unleashes puppy love for their 15th anniversary, and then stick around for a slice of Broadway with a cast of Waitress at Playhouse on the Square. We're going to go behind the scenes. It's an hour you won't want to miss. But first, be sure to record the show so you never miss an episode, and connect with us online at our website, liveat9.tv. That's also our handle on social media. And now, topping the news this morning, we have seen some rain moving through much of our area already today. To find out how long these showers will stick around, let's head on over to weather expert Todd Demers. Good morning, Todd.
Hey, good morning, Kanji. We continue to, I want to use the word enjoy this rain, because it's certainly helping to keep our temperatures down. And we've certainly needed a little bit of rain across the area. But as long as you're taking your time and being careful out there on the roadways, we're going to be doing all right. Storm Tracker 3S. And again, I don't think this is coming to you as a big surprise. I started telling you about this on Monday morning, that we are going to have rain for the rush hour here on Wednesday. And here we are with some of the heaviest of the activity continuing across north central and northeastern Arkansas. And this is where the heaviest of the rain will be throughout the course of the day. But some of these showers are making their way over the river and into West Tennessee and the Memphis metro. The heaviest of the rainfall, and again, just because I say heavy, I don't want you to think severe. Heaviest of the rainfall, a few rumbles of thunder, southwestern Shelby County, getting ready to move into South Haven and the airport area, all within about the next half hour to 45 minutes. So showers are likely, but as the rain ends, the temperatures will try to improve today back into the upper 80s to near 90. That'll take some sunshine to make that happen. I can't really recommend going out there and getting the car washed today. And I think the next couple of days, though, will be a whole lot better, and especially with that cooler air on the way. So we have the rain ending and the temperatures climbing. It's going to be hot with a lot of folks in town for the golf tournament or for Graceland and, of course, Elvis Week here in the Mid-South. But right now, we are dealing with rain, and it looks like it's going to be with us for several more hours. Coming up, a much closer look at your forecast, including that all-important 7-day. We do need to talk about potentially dangerous heat for tomorrow, coming up in just a minute.
New at 9, the University of Memphis has landed a $21 million contract with the Navy to build a game-changing technology facility right here in our city. Now, this new center will focus on testing unmanned systems. That includes drones and other remotely operated vehicles that don't require a pilot on board. This positions Memphis as a major player in the future of naval research and unmanned flight. This facility will feature a high-tech wind wall designed to simulate extreme conditions like strong winds and dust storms to see how these systems perform in tough environments. Advanced sensors will also provide detailed data on how these air vehicles respond, helping researchers to push the limits of aerospace technology, and this work should be completed by August of 2028. Pretty cool. The Memphis Shelby County Schools Board of Education says that they're moving forward with funding a state-of-the-art STEM lab at Whitehaven High School. At a board meeting on Tuesday, District Superintendent Dr. Marie Fagans said there would be no more delays for this project. That was the groundbreaking video that you saw there. Construction had fallen about 3 months behind and was about $2.3 million short. According to the commercial appeal, Dr. Fagans told board members yesterday that $1.3 million already exists, and the district will add the commitment of $1 million. So that would be the total needed to complete it. The attorney for the project also confirms that it'll be no more than a year from beginning to end for the building to go up. At the same Board of Education meeting, MSCS leaders also struck a deal with school resource officers who had said that they were going to strike. Dozens of SROs working for the district had planned that strike over pay and safety concerns. Superintendent Fagan says MSCS will raise the starting pay for the officers to $25 an hour, but Dr. Fagans also said it will take more time to consider the SRO's other requests, including the hiring of more officers. According to the superintendent, they need about 64 more SROs, which places the district in about a $6 million funding gap, with an additional $4 million to sustain those positions for about 4 years. It has been more than a year since Tyree Nichols was beaten by Memphis police officers and then died several days later from his injuries. Since then, the Memphis City Council passed several ordinances aimed at reforming the police department, but those measures were later repealed by state lawmakers in Tennessee. And now there is a renewed effort calling for federal police reform on Capitol Hill. Some Senate Democrats say they're needed after the recent killing of Sonia Massey, an unarmed African-American woman shot and killed by a deputy in her home after she called the sheriff's office for help. Reporter Raquel Martin has this story.
4 years after George Floyd's murder sparked national calls for police reform. The killing of Sonia Massey, a 36-year-old black woman gunned down by a deputy in her Illinois home,
saying her name,
is reigniting those pleas.
There is an ongoing crisis that needs to be addressed.
The ACLU is urging Congress to reconsider the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act
To ensure not just public safety, but safety from police misconduct.
Illinois Senator Dick Durbin is part of a group reintroducing the bill. In part, the plan requires implicit bias training for police and increased vetting to ensure bad actors are not rehired.
Which would establish a registry for police and law enforcement so there'd be no surprises.
In Massey's case, the deputy who killed her held 6 law enforcement jobs in just 4 years and was kicked out of the Army for drunk driving a decade ago.
That's a very big loophole in our system right now.
Amid public pressure, the sheriff who hired the deputy is stepping down, and the deputy faces murder charges.
The salient point is that justice can work when there's transparency.
Jonathan Thompson is executive director of the National Sheriff's Association. He says while the shooting is tragic, Democrats' bill,
It's an obvious ploy.
He opposed the same reforms 4 years ago because he believes a federal overhaul will only undermine police safety, but says he is willing to revisit the topic. In Washington, Raquel Martin.
Concerns over public safety are brought up almost daily by politicians, health officials, authorities, and everyday folks. Our next guests work to help not only prevent violence, but also educate and support members of the community. And joining us today, Rafia Muhammad-McCormick with Tennesseans for Alternatives to the Death Penalty, and Tim Williams, who is the chapter leader for Greater Memphis Parents of Murdered Children. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Glad to be here.
Okay, well, can we start with you, Tim? What made you get involved in this effort?
Well, the mother of my children was murdered in 1989 when I was in active duty Navy. And the National Organization of Parents of Murdered Children actually helped me to be able to maneuver through my military career and give me all the resources I needed, including setting up my children with money when they turned 18 for college or whatever. So when I got here and decided to make Memphis my home, I decided that I wanted to do something like that. And what really prompted that was what Deborah Marion went through for her son, Lorenzen Wright. And I wanted to make sure resources were in the way to allow people to have those resources to know what to do, court accompaniment and things like that.
Wow,
That's
okay.
why.
And Rafia, if you could tell me about the TADP's message.
Yeah, definitely. Like Tim, I'm also an impacted member. I lost my son July 9th of 2020, Rodney Armstrong, in Nashville. And I just real quick, I started sitting in a grief circle with other mothers. Our organization is called Mothers Over Murder, that provides me grief support, but they're also an action group. And so that's what ignited my fire on getting involved with victims advocacy and criminal justice reform, and found an organization, Tennesseans for Alternatives to the Death Penalty, that our mission is for honoring life by abolishing the death penalty and supporting victims and supporting community-based violence prevention. And so that's what kind of birthed this, going through the process of victims' compensation myself and struggling, and then us doing legislation.
So explain just what you came to terms with when you said that the death penalty is not the answer, and how that factors into your grief. I mean,
yeah, definitely. So while I was going through the process of the criminal proceedings with the boy that killed my child, just really feeling like we were a pawn, that the negotiations, whatever the sentencing one is going to be, was had nothing to do with my child or the person that killed him, and feeling like you almost feel as a victim that you're starting to place the value of your child's life based off of how much time that person gets. And that really has nothing to do with the supporting of the healing and what a victim needs to be able to move forward in life. You wind up getting stuck in this retribution-based space because that makes you feel like my loved one was more valuable based off that harshest sentence. But where's the counseling? Where's the rehabilitation that's needed for me to be able to go forward with my life?
Tim, you're shaking your head. What?
Yes.
What?
And that was one of the main reasons, because these resources are available, but not many people even know about them. Mm-hmm. And that's the sad part about it.
Okay, and tell me, talk about how the new laws expand eligibility to the Tennessee Criminal Injuries Compensation Fund.
Well, as far as the new laws, I'm not really that much up on it, but I do know that what's in place is basically at the touch of, a click of a mouse or on your phone. It's just that people don't know where to go to find these links to go ahead and get those applications in. Most people, when their loved one is killed, they are underinsured. They don't really know what to do to bury their child. They don't have adequate funds to be able to get the counseling and grief support that they need, even though it's available.
So what were the first steps that each of you took so that you can help people navigate this?
So this basically came out of, this was a partnership in between Tennesseans for Alternatives to the Death Penalty and a lot of victims organizations in the Nashville area, specifically Mothers Over Murder, Voices for Victims, Tennessee Voices for Victims, where we partnered on coming up with this legislation and identified some key pieces that we could enhance, and were able to pass it unanimously through the House and the Senate. Where Tim's organization comes in is that what I found while we were wanting to address the 70% of people that are denied by doing this enhancements, we also had a potentially 90% of victims that, because of being dissatisfied or scared or misinformed, aren't even applying. And so we came to Memphis to partner with organizations like Tim's organization to get the education to these victims of how to apply.
We're going to talk about a two-day workshop that you have coming up very quickly. I know we're running over a little bit, but Tim, if you could talk to me about what your first step was to plug in and get those applications going.
Again, I partnered up with the Shelby County Rape and Crime Victim Services and Memphis Police Department Victim Services. And with our partnership and me being as a liaison between the survivors of homicide, I'm able to point them in the direction to get those things and get the guidance to get those things filled out right and efficiently.
Okay, this workshop that you're doing.
Yeah, so this workshop is this weekend at Centenary United Methodist Church, where one day we're doing the victims education piece. We'll have representatives from the Treasury Department and the victims witness coordinator from the DA, who's going to be educating victims about how to apply, as well as uplifting the voices of victims of what they actually do need. And then day 2 of the conference is where we bring all of the community together to identify what does public safety look like and what can we as a community do to make us safer.
Well, I just want to thank you for taking your pain, and it's really hard to get through those emotions and use it proactively. And so just thank you for what you're doing for the community.
You're welcome.
Glad to do it.
All right. And there's much more live at 9 ahead this morning. We're going to talk about the trend that's booming across the country and even the world, right here in Memphis as well. Plus, if you need a breakthrough work, one international business may have the answer. So podcasting and more coming up. You're watching Live at 9 on this Wednesday morning. Thanks for staying with us. Weather expert Todd Demers is standing by with an update on our forecast. I can hear that rain just hitting the roof there.
Yeah, and you know what? It's kind of making me smile a little bit because I know that we needed the rain. It's going to help cool things down a little bit, especially with the heat that's really on its way here over the next couple of days. I think we're going to be enjoying this break from the heat, but you can certainly see on the views from the Gold Strike Skyview camera networks that we do have the cloudy skies, the wet roadways across the area. Here it is on Storm Tracker 3S. We include not only these heat advisories and heat warnings, which, by the way, are likely to spill into the Mid-South over the next couple of days, but our big story for today continues to be the rain falling across West Tennessee, northern Mississippi, and especially eastern Arkansas. This is where we've been seeing some of the heaviest of the rainfall over the past couple of hours. These showers moving through southwestern Shelby County, now moving down into DeSoto County. If you're in Hernando, Lewisburg, Coldwater, or even all the way down into Senatobia by about 10 o'clock, you'll see a few of these brief heavier showers. And I've also found this line of showers producing a little bit more lightning across eastern Arkansas, anywhere from Wynne, Arkansas over through Proctor. So again, be expecting some brief heavier showers and, more importantly, wet conditions on the roadways, which could certainly slow things down a bit. I've been checking out the total rainfall amounts, and the heaviest of the activity north central Arkansas, 4 and 5 inch rainfall totals from the overnight hours. Most of what we have picked up so far has been in the neighborhood of about a half an inch, but it's still coming down. So we're likely to end up with about an inch of rain before the day is through. 95 yesterday's high. I don't think we're going to hit 95 today. We've been in the lower 80s out at the airport most of the morning, and we've dipped now to 77. Rain cooled across the area with the forecast models keeping these scattered showers in play and the temperatures down for the next several hours. But then we're going to get a break. We may see those temperatures jump briefly, but the big story is going to be the temperatures tomorrow here in the Mid-South. Under the sunshine, we're on our way back into the mid and upper 90s for afternoon highs, and heat index values. Now again, this is for tomorrow afternoon, will be between about 105 and 110, and that's why I'm really anticipating some heat advisories or heat warnings for the area. So the big picture view keeps the heaviest of the rainfall to our north over the next 24 to 48 hours. However, our latest cold front's going to be knocking on our door, and as you watch the clock, you're going to see a round of rain really moving into the area associated with that front, but not until late Friday night and early Saturday morning. It'll be moving pretty quickly across the Mid-South, and that's where we're looking at the slight risk for some severe weather well to our north for tomorrow as this rain continues to move right on through the area. So we've talked about the possibility of a little bit more than an inch of rain, kind of a narrow band. Not everybody's seeing that heavier rainfall. So today we're rain cooled, which is really a good thing. And then for those that are going to be out and about, whether it's the golf tournament or the candlelight vigil, it's going to be a hot one during the day and then mild for the evening hours. But this is where we could very easily see some heat advisories. Again, that's going to be for Thursday and Friday. And I mentioned that weak little cold front moving through Friday night into early Saturday. Temperatures are going to be dropping back down into the upper 80s as we start early next week with less humid conditions. That is going to be a welcome break. So again, rain right now. Be careful. Download the WRNG weather app. Be ready. And then the heat is back with some likely heat advisories over the next couple of days. Let's be safe out there.
We're back on Live at 9. Now, here's Kanji.
According to Podcast Talk, global podcast listening is projected to almost double by 2030, reaching an estimated 800 million listeners across the globe. Memphis is riding this wave with 4U Recording Studio expanding its studios to 5 podcasting spaces in the heart of downtown Memphis, where they are experiencing a surge in bookings. And joining us now, Tyler Battles, Chief Engineer at 4U Recording Studio, to look at this growing landscape. Hello, Tyler. Thanks for coming in.
Hi, Kanji. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so, podcasting, it seems like everyone is doing this.
It's a big boom. It's happening.
What is that all about? What are you seeing?
From what I'm seeing, everyone wants an opportunity to bring their voice to the table. Everyone has something to speak about in various fields, and it's an interesting space. It gives people an opportunity to almost have their own radio show. So.
Yeah, but I guess the whole thing is you have to have the right equipment, right? And so that's where you guys come in. So explain, I know that you brought some pictures. What are these spaces that people are using nowadays?
So nowadays, our recording studio, which at one point in time we still do have recording sessions for artists, we've now outfitted to host podcasts as well. So if you want to host your podcast in a fully acoustically treated space, and we also offer various audio services as well, we can help to facilitate whatever needs you have for podcasting.
So talk about you. You are a sound engineer.
Yes, ma'am.
What are the things that people need to think about when, they're creating a production and they want to make sure that they sound good?
The acoustics, of course. We always want to have a room that has minimized reflection so that we can sound nice and clear for our audiences. And then we also want to make sure that we have some nice equipment to record with. So we outfitted the rooms with professional grade microphones and headphones to be able to hear yourself back. They look nice, so if you want to do some filming for some video blogging as well, that can be done. And we can also take it full service and help you with the mixing services for your podcast as well.
Oh, okay. So that's another thing that you were telling me, that not only do you have those spaces, but there's a way people are decorating them. They're actually creating their own vibe. And so
yes,
how does that work? Do people just kind of bring their stuff in?
They can bring their stuff in. They can we open them to leave it if they want to, and tell us how they want their space set up. And then we can fully outfit these spaces every time that they come in to fit the way that they like their space to look.
And then I know some are doing the green screens, so then they can even superimpose a backdrop. Yes. So that's kind of interesting.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, what types of podcasts do people do, and what kinds of recordings can happen in these spaces?
So we can do every type of anything that you like to talk about. So from real estate to investment podcasts. Maybe someone's a banker and wants to give investment advice. Maybe someone is into audio and wants to speak about engineering. That might be where I come in. Mm-hmm. Maybe somebody's a producer and wants to talk about different production techniques. The topics are endless. Any field or any hobbyist can become a podcaster because everyone has an opportunity to have their voice.
All right. Okay. And so can you just talk about location and what is the starting point? And how long do these things take? And or do you just keep coming back? And yeah, I have so many questions. I have another question, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it generally takes normally within 30 minutes to an hour. Not a problem at all. And then even for extended periods of time, some people let's say like a Joe Rogan, maybe they just want to sit and talk. You can go for hours on hours, and we're fully equipped to be able to help you out with that.
Okay, and talk about your location and the best way to reach out.
We're located at 400 Union Ave, so right off Union downtown. Best ways to find us are via our social media, which is 4U Recording on all social media platforms. You can also reach us via phone at 901-779 479-2044. And we have our website, which is foryourecording.com, that is accessible as well.
All right, Tyler, it's exciting to hear about this
Yes,
boom and that it's here to stay
Yes,
in Memphis.
ma'am.
All right,
Yes, ma'am.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
And still ahead, Streetdog Foundation is introducing us to our pet of the week. And this story is for our director, Stanley, a big Tennessee Titans fan. Jenna, you wrote that. That's hilarious. Now, okay, now everybody out there, if you love the Titans too, you can now smell like their quarterback. And we'll explain how. That's coming up right here on Live at 9. "66% of all people are likely to adopt from a shelter or rescue in the future," according to a new report by Hill's Pet Nutrition. And if you want to be in that number, local rescue Streetdog Foundation's here with our pet of the week. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Great, great. Okay, I see it says adopt me. Who is this?
This is Jax. He is definitely adoptable. Super sweet cuddle bug, great personality. He's about 2 years old, and he is adoptable through Streetdog Foundation.
How did you meet?
So Jax was actually born into Streetdog Foundation.
Really?
I actually ended up adopting his mom, Mayflower. She's a good example of how we take in full medical cases. She was hit by a car.
Oh no.
And we treated all of her emergent stuff that happened, and then realized she was with puppies.
So her baby has fully grown.
He is
up
grown
with
and
you
bigger
guys.
than her.
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
he actually did get adopted out quite quickly. He is a good example of how Streetdog Foundation never just abandons you when you adopt a dog. If for any reason your life circumstance changes or anything, and you're no longer able to care for them, we will totally take them back.
And I mean, we know that people are, struggling with inflation and higher prices. So it's really rough out there. Talk about some of the needs that you have as a result of what's going on in the world.
So we definitely are always in need of donations and support for our organization. We are 100% volunteer based. The cost of just vet care and dog food and all of the things that we have to use to support these pups like you said, goes up year after year. And so every little bit helps, and we are 100% funded through the kindness of people who donate, and every bit of it goes straight to the pups.
And so what family do you think would be best?
He is actually such a good dog.
I mean, look, like, hello.
He's good with other
Hi,
dogs.
everybody.
He's good with cats. He is good with kids. He is just a big love bug.
Yeah.
He's got still a little bit of, energy, likes to play if you have a playful household, but he's also just a couch potato too.
Yeah, and I mean, there's an elegance too that I see here.
Yeah.
And walk me through the steps that people should take if they want to start that process.
Absolutely. So if you are interested, just go to our website, streetdogfoundation.com, fill out our adoption application. We go through a process where we do some checks and do an interview and stuff. And like I said, we never just hand you the dog and run away. There's adoption trials. There are options to do temporary fosters as well, to give it a try under the foster situation. Lots of different options to explore.
Tell me about the big anniversary later this month.
That's super exciting. It's coming up on the 24th. It is from noon to 4 at Laughlin Yard. It's $30 tickets at the door. There's going to be, he's trying to
come here,
and exploring. Tickets are $30 at the door. There's going to be live music, drink specials, and the America photo booth will be there. So that's included in your ticket. You get to take your pup in and get a free photo booth picture.
Okay. Do you want a sip?
And
I'm kidding. I do not give coffee to dogs. Okay, I would never do that. But yeah, what a well-adjusted little baby here, and also I have to think that not a shedder, much of a shedder, So that's kind of
he's not too bad.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to add?
We do have one other event coming up in September. Pour and Explore at Shops of Saddle Creek. It is $30. Tickets are already on sale at shopsofsaddlecreek.com. There's going to be wine tasting booths set up all in the different shops, local art, all that. It's going to be a good time, definitely. It's from 5 to 8 at September 21st.
All right, thank you, and good luck to you. I know you're going to find a home because you're a sweetie.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, straight ahead, look like a Dolly, smell like Levi's, and take some time away from work for unhappy leave. What is that? You're going to want to stick around for this morning's Coffee with Corey.
Time for Coffee with Corey, brewed in part by Kroger.
So, does anybody want to smell like a quarterback?
Maybe. I think it just depends on what it's going to smell like, right? So our first story is rather interesting. Yeah. And I think all of us were like, wait, what? Okay, so Tennessee Titans quarterback Will Levis is taking internet by storm this week, and it has nothing, like absolutely nothing to do with preseason football.
Luscious. Eggy. Smell.
So Levis has expanded his partnership with Hellmann's Mayonnaise to introduce a new fragrance. That's right. You may remember that he signed the endorsement deal with the company last year after a video surfaced of him putting mayo in his coffee when he was in college. Well, at the time, he received a lifetime supply of Hellmann's. Now, Will Levis number 8 cologne will soon hit store shelves, and the name and cost, $8 a bottle, is in reference to the QB's jersey number. Well, the company says the scent is an intoxicating blend of tart lemon, coffee, musk, vanilla, and something called mayonnaise accord. So as for the scent of the new cologne, Levis says, well, they nailed it. So I totally thought that it was a joke, but it's not a joke. It's a legit thing. But talk about branding. And he really put mayonnaise putting into coffee a thing, A. And B, I mean, why not run with it? Like, if this is gonna be part of your packaging deal and you are, I mean, Hellmann's, I love Hellmann's mayonnaise to begin with, A. So if you're gonna be the face of that, why not? If you truly like it, be about it. Oh. You're just like,
I you know those cartoon blinks, like blink, blink?
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of what I was like, wait, so as you were saying it, and I like to hear your stories off the cuff so that I can, you know, but all I could think of is like sweaty shoulder pads and, you know what I mean? Like after the game.
What it smells like after you've like had a day? Is that what you're wondering?
No, I'm saying when they said that he had a scent, I was like, I was like, so now I'm like, what?
So yeah, what? So it's a new cologne. Anyway, so okay. Moving on to this fantastic next story. She is 78 years old, but Tennessee legend continues to be busy. We're talking about Dolly Parton, of course. So the music icon just announced a new cosmetic brand this week. Yes, please. So Parton posted on Instagram yesterday that Dolly's Beauty launch will begin with lipstick. In a photo online, she's holding the shade Jolene Red. Page6.com reports that Heaven's Kiss collection will be available on the brand's website starting August 22nd. It will also include 3 additional lipstick shades honoring the singer's legendary career. And in a nod to the superstar's glam and glitz fashion, the $20 lipstick will come in a gold packaging, bedazzled with rhinestones. Dolly says when she was a kid, she would create her own makeup and dreamed of being glamorous. You can check all of that off because, yes, she's completely glamorous. And I went online to kind of check out the packaging. The packaging is the cutest. And when you kind of swirl the lipstick up, there's a little impression of a butterfly. Aww. Details matter, and it totally works. It's beautiful, it's awesome, and yes, I would pay $20 for it in a nanosecond.
Anything for Dolly.
I mean,
she just does it all, and it's like, I just love that at this stage she's saying a beauty line because it changes, you know, when you hit a certain age, you have to use different things, and, you know, anyway, so everything she does, I'm like, I cannot wait because she's so thoughtful.
She's amazing.
And kind.
Yep. Oh, of course.
Yes.
And finally, okay, so many companies around the world are trying to help their employees get a better work-life balance, and one Asian retailer may have found the solution. How about this? So a grocery store chain in China is offering unhappy leave to employees. So a new company policy allows for up to 10 days, that's 10 days of unhappy leave annually. So a company leader said, everyone has times when they're just not happy. So if you're not happy, do not come to work. Okay. So according to a new policy, if management denies an employee's requested leave, it's considered a violation. The supermarket chain wants people to have a healthy life, and long working hours is unethical. So says the company. Believes long working hours is unethical. So I'm not happy today. So I'm going to go ahead and go home.
Okay.
But I should have said that yesterday.
Yeah,
so
you should.
There must be a policy
So
in
maybe
place, like 24 hours in advance. Because you could wake up unhappy.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, be like, hey, I'm not going to be able to do
It's
traffic
really nice
and coffee
outside.
with
I'm
Corey
very
today.
unhappy today.
I like that. So
Yeah.
there was a person who I was highly entertained by who was just unhappy every day and would send out email rants. Like
Really?
Used to work with this person. It's not here, obviously.
Okay.
But that person would probably have every day off.
Like, you only get 10 days with that company, so at some point you're going to have to come into work.
Yeah, it was really
figure it
fun. I'm
out.
like, oh, what is he saying today?
Oh, so it's like something you looked forward to.
I don't know why. I was entertained by his, I don't know. Yeah. Well, let's just move on from that. But hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.
I will be happy tomorrow, and I'll come in.
Okay. All right, Corey. And don't change that channel. The regional premiere of a Tony-nominated musical is set to debut here in Memphis. So we're going there live on location to take you behind the scenes of Waitress coming up next.
Welcome back, everyone, to Live at 9. We're across the Mid-South this morning. We are dealing with some, well, we're going to call it light, but at times some moderate rain falling across the area. Certainly enough to cause for some localized flash flooding, especially through parts of Arkansas, catching some of the heaviest of the rainfall. Here's what I mean by that. Storm Tracker 3S has been watching this line of very heavy showers moving across northeast Arkansas, and even a few isolated thunder showers as well. And by the way, these are all heat advisories and heat warnings. While closer to home, the clouds and the rain are keeping us cooler. Tomorrow we'll be dealing with that heat here in the Mid-South. Most of us are just seeing some light and at times some moderate rain with the occasional thunder shower down around the Forest City area. I do not have any severe weather to tell you about. No watches, no warnings, but again, some brief heavier downpours making their way out of DeSoto County, and also some heavier showers in eastern Arkansas, moving just to the south of Heth and pushing down towards northern Tunica County as well. So please be careful if you have to be out and about today and on the roadways. We have seen some areas that have picked up some pretty impressive rainfall totals, but that's mainly north central Arkansas. Most of us between about a half and 1 inch of rain. Our high 95 yesterday, 92 and 73 are the norms, and right now we are rain cooled all the way down to 76 degrees. And across the area throughout the course of today anyway, the temperatures are going to be mainly in the 80s, and then for tomorrow we're going to be talking about temperatures that are going to be climbing once again back into the mid and even upper 90s for afternoon highs. So enjoy this rain rain while you can, because starting tomorrow, it is going to be hot. So clearing and warm late in the day, mid to upper 90s for the first round of the golf tournament. Candlelight vigil coming up tomorrow night as well. Heat index values between 105 and 110 over the next couple of days will make it difficult to be outside. A little cold front Friday night into Saturday will try to cool us down as we make our way through the weekend into early next week. Live at 9 will continue in just a moment. Please stay right there.
A waitress with the knack for pie making takes center stage in the latest production by the Playhouse on the Square. Live at 9 is on location at the Midtown Theater this morning, where Waitress opens later this week. And we are live with two of the stars of the show, Wendy and Keegan. Hello, you look like you're in an actual diner, guys. Okay, I think we're a little bit frozen there, but while we get our signal back up, I do want to tell you about some of the details of when you can see the show. And it premieres Friday, but let's start with you, Keegan. Tell us about your role in the show, and then Wendy, tell us about yours.
I'm playing Dawn, and she is a very organized, at the same time all over the place waitress, and she is finding love in this show.
Ooh,
so
I love that. Okay, and tell us about your role.
Hi, I play Becky, and I am one of the best friends to Jenna, who is the main waitress, and Dawn here. And I'm kind of like the older big sister to the other two, and you know, I'm going through some things myself in the show, but you know, we take you on a journey, and you know, we just build our friendship and our sisterhood together.
Okay, I have to say it. You're gonna give us a little tour around the set, and I mean, you don't get to see this often, so this is gonna be really exciting. But I do want to point out that our producer's name is Jenna, and so is your main character. So, okay.
Oh,
so
cool.
Take us around. You're sitting in one of the main areas. How often are you guys in this part of the set?
Well, it's based on Joe's Diner, and we're waitresses here at the diner, so we have our own townspeople who come in and they frequent the diner daily as the show goes along. We have our main counter and our kitchen, And since this is a musical, we actually have a live band who plays inside the diner as you would at a lot of restaurants around the town.
Okay, let's look. So take me through there. Take me through your set. This is exciting.
Well, this is our main diner. And our chef of the day is Cal, and that's his domain. And we actually have our pies of the day. So we have menus, we have real food, we have real cooking going on set.
Oh, wow. Okay, and so that's like just kind of like a stool area. And then, okay, Joe, the lights. If you could just walk me through the set. Show me what you guys do. And
so again, we have our main counter in the kitchen. These are stools, sort of like you would see like at a Waffle House where you can sit at the counter and eat. And then we have our booths. And again, our band.
Okay. Well, tell us what's
bandstand.
Oh, okay, so that's where they perform. That's where the sound's coming from. What's different about this production? Because I know there was a movie by the same name.
Yes, there was a movie, and then Sarah Bareilles apparently fell in love, and she recreated all the music for the Broadway musical.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, and we're looking at some footage here.
So all of the music is original.
Oh, please continue.
We have made the stage to look like you would look like any local diner. We're actually based in a small town in the early 2000s. So the clothing is kind of dated. You kind of bring you back into some old days.
2007, yeah.
Really? Okay, and Keegan, what do you think stands out about this play that you're now part of?
What stands out about this play versus a lot of shows that I've done specifically is we are doing it's a jukebox musical, so we've got Sarah Bareilles' songs that I grew up with. She Used to Be Mine was a song that I always listened to, and it is probably the song of the show, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it is the song of the show.
All right, well, tell us when and where people can see this and get tickets and all that. Get in on the action.
Of course, you can go to playhouseonthesquare.com and just look for the show Waitress. We open this Friday at 8 o'clock, and we have 3 shows a week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights at 8 p.m. and a Sunday matinee at 2 p.m. If you'd like to come more than once, make sure you check into our subscriptions. You can buy a package that will allow you to come see not only this show, but all the shows in the season, because this is actually like one of the first shows of the season at the Playhouse family. So you can come and catch this show once or twice, and then catch all the other shows during the season.
All right, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We really appreciate you giving us that behind-the-scenes look.
No problem. Thanks.
And we would also like to thank you for joining Live at 9 this morning. Coming up tomorrow on our show, we're going to continue our Black Business Month series. So Black Business Association President Ernest Strickland and Memphis Councilman J.B. Smiley are going to be joining us. They're going to talk about their innovative business booster program. And the owner of Sweet Aroma Dessert Studio is going to be here to talk about how it's impacted her. She's going to actually have some cakes as well. And then get ready for a dash of mystery and elegance as we preview the upcoming Dinner in White, Le Dîner en Blanc. It's a pop-up event, and you don't know where it's going to be, but then it's really an exciting concept. Also, we have Jalen Sochik from I Love Memphis blog. She's going to stop by to share the hottest weekend happenings. She always gives us her top 3 picks, so we're going to find out what's going on in the area. And then don't miss Chef Reagan Oglesby as she whips up a recipe for shrimp scampi pasta. She is such an amazing chef, and it's going to be delicious. So we'll see you tomorrow for all this, your top news, weather with Todd Demers, and trending topics in Coffee with Corey. And we want to hear from you, so be sure to email your segment ideas to liveat9@wreg.com. Now, if you visit our website, you can catch up on the shows that you've missed, and so go to liveat9.tv. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow morning. Have a great day and stay dry.